Hey there, welcome to episode 5 of Manor Lords. In the previous episode I've been expanding my main town, as well as making my way over to the next territory. Now, the next territory has grown quite a bit. We are working with quite a few families over here, some of them are even living in tier 2 burgage plots. I still have a bit of a remnant vegetable garden in the back, but that's something I might be shoring up in the future. They have their own church. They are also starting their own industry, and that's going to be the focal point of this episode. I'm going to start setting up a trade where I am not only digging up the iron, I'm also going to turn that into the iron slabs using the bloomery, and then using potentially a couple of these buildings, because they're all tier 2s, I can start turning that into more useful resources. Resources, weapons if you will, that I can then sell. So we're going to need a trading post in order to keep all of these things on the road. Let's get a... No. Need a trading post. Here it is. A trading post is going to sit just nicely here on the road. So it's going to be iron mining over here. I already have deep mining. I just don't have enough wealth in the region. And that's something that all of these tier 2 burgage plots are going to be working on in a minute. I can also start upgrading these, but... well, every now and then the fuel stall isn't exactly fueled well enough, and the game doesn't allow you to upgrade. See, with this one, it does have access. This one also has access. It's a bit finicky. Sometimes they get access, sometimes they don't. Either way, the area of Waldbrand is growing nicely. I am not yet building a manor over here, mostly because I want to make sure that the region wealth grows. Once that region wealth is growing, I can start turning this into one of those deep mines, which means it'll never run out. And that allows me a very sizable amount of iron coming out of this pit. And a little later, a stone deposit is also going to start to get mined. As for resources, we have quite a bit of food stored. We have a lot of fuel stored. I'm not even gathering the berries over here. That's mostly because, well, this is already pretty good. 6 months of food should be sufficient. I'm hunting some wild animals. I don't have a farm over here, so I might be able to export some food from, let's say, this area, which has plenty, to the area if it comes to that. The first thing that this trading post is going to have to do is start trading some firewood from this province to the area over here, because we have plenty of food, but no firewood. Even though the firewoods, or the fire cutter's lodge is working at maximum capacity, it's not enough. We need more. So as always, it's time for some further expansion. This area over here is the, let's say, the secondary marketplace. Right now, nobody's actually using it, but it's too small for another house, so I figured might as well. So let's go for a bit of housing and make sure that we get a lot more families brought into these towns. Or into this town specifically, so I can get a couple more workers in here. See if it can get nicely aligned here. Have to take down some trees, but that's fine. We can get 6 burgage plots, or 5 with some slightly bigger secondary buildings, if you will. Let's go for this over here. That'll keep my families busy for a while. I'm also working on turning... where is it? Turning some of the last wheat into the communal oven into bread, thanks to the windmill. There's still plenty in the windmill, so we can still make a lot of bread. And that should be a nice addition to our food supplies, because it is October, and a new winter is going to be soon arriving. Now, as for my trading post, let's see, I can probably trade them to another region, but can I trade it with myself? That is a possibility, I believe. Pitching post, pack station. Barter connection, allowing you to send goods between this and another region. So I need to have one barter station here. And I need to have another barter station over there. So it's not the trading station, it's the barter station, my bad. Meaning we can low prio this one and high prio this one. So that they don't start building all of these burgess plots. Which are not really that much of a prio. As for the church in the other region, I am working on upgrading it to a tier 2 church or a small stone church, so that slowly but steadily the requirements for this building over here are going to get met. So the joiner shop, We have the blacksmith, we have the tailor shop. These people are all at work, and they do want a small stone church. They also want a tavern, and that's something I still have yet to set up. As for other resources, helmets as well as clothing, well, that's not exactly forthcoming at the moment, because I still haven't set up a good source in the tailor store for getting linen. Linen is something that you can get by making flax. It's just not something that my farm is currently working on. I first want to have a massive supply of food, making sure that I'll never run out of food. Well, not never, but at least have, let's say, a year's supply, so that I'm properly ready for winter when that comes. So, focus on this episode. Long story short, industry. Let's start setting up a nice little industry over here, potentially providing, well, let's say other areas, thanks to the merchant, with weapons. I have a little side project over in Eichenhau, as I still have quite a lot of workers available. I really, at the moment, don't know what to do with these people, so let's give them something to do. I'm going to set up a sheep farm. This sheep farm is going to be able to start providing me with wool, and wool then translates nicely into clothing. Of course, there's a bit of a step in between there. We need to first turn it into yarn. Then the tailor shop can finally start making use of both yarn, but also will need dyes. Yes, we're gonna have to use our berries and turn the berries into something a bit more useful. So let's head over to industry and get a dyer's workshop. I'm gonna place that there because it's relatively close to the forager's hut. We can actually start getting somebody back to work on that. This is going to provide me with the dye that I need for the clothing. And this is going to provide me with at least the sheep farm. But we're not quite there yet, and here's why. We also need to have a pasture. The pasture is going to just be a big field for the sheep to graze in. It'll have, by the looks of it, enough for 40 sheep. That's a massive long-term project. Because these sheep, well, they don't just spawn. We'll have to actually buy them. And you do that over at, where is it? The trader. But the trader, oh, hold on. Trade. We have to get a livestock trading post. I do not believe I have one of those yet. So I first need to also build this. Let's put that right there. Then I can start buying sheep. Now there is a development point, I believe, here. Sheep breeding. Sheep grazing on the pastures slowly multiply. Which is nice, because that means you don't have to keep buying them. But unfortunately, Eichenhau, well, they're going to have to get up to tier 3 before I'm able to do that. And tier 3 requires that I not only have the tavern, but also that additional clothing store. So that's something that I'm working on. Of course, in line with being able to get additional sources of food. Right now, it's berries and eggs. We don't have any bread, because right now the farm is... well, they're sowing a new line of crops. But outside of that, there's not a whole lot in sight yet. We're going to go for wheat on these fields and barley over here. And that'll also start up the ale production that I need to eventually get a tavern going. Because a tavern is something that I can build right now. It is, however, going to require ale to function. Like many of its citizens. People seem to be mildly alcoholic. At any point, first let's focus on the sheep farm, get that going. As the area down here in Waldbrand, well, we're making progress. We have our farm, we have our bloomery. We even, over here, have our, burgage plot. Which is working on making some sidearms. So at this point, I already have 10 sidearms. I just need to set up the trading post. Trading post was a very low priority for me right now. I can actually get this now, and I can start selling these swords. And with that, be able to start getting a bunch of money. Because that would be nice for the regional wealth. Where is this band of raiders? There's Selbits. That's not my department. I have also claimed the area over here. This is Immenroyd. And I have plenty of money that I can also start this area. There's quite a lot of brigands over here, but thankfully they don't appear to be hostile. They appear to be mercenaries, so not my concern. There is, however, a bandit camp here. So I first want to clear that out before I actually set up town here. Literally set up town. As for what the town is going to do, I'm not too sure about that yet. I have this very nice open area here, so I could turn it into a massive farm. It also has a very good berry deposit, as well as wild animals, so this could be a source of not only meat, but also hides. And then I can turn that into clothing. Same here. Except, of course, this is mostly food and can get turned into dyes at the expense of the food. I'm thinking just setting up a big farm here. So let's get to work on that. But first, as mentioned, clear out the bandits. We're going to do that using the new militia footmen. These guys are armed with a nice sword and a shield. They are going to be augmenting the spear militia, as well as all of my archers. Now, I can get more spear militia, but I simply don't have enough spears. Nor do I have big shields. So, yeah. We went a little wild on the production of small shields. Maybe I can start exporting a bunch of those. Trade. Military. Small shields. Set up trade route. There we go. Yes, I'd like to establish that. I want to export it. And I want to have a surplus. A desired surplus. How much surplus do I currently have? I want to have... let's say 20 shields lying around. Which means I can export these for 5 times 100. Yeah, times 100. So that is quite a bit of money. It's quite nice. This is going to start giving me a merchant. Getting the next merchant is going to cost me 60 of the regional wealth. But hey, with the exports from the shields, that should be perfectly possible. Now the blacksmith is, I believe, idle. No, he's still making swords. I got one sidearm. Okay. So let's shift the, I think it's the joiners to the large shields. Because that is something that I'll need. And you guys are going to switch to the spears. So I can work on that. Tools is something that I can build. I'm not exactly sure what I need them for yet. But that might be a bit of a tier 3 requirement. Anyway, let's test our new militia. Let's call the banners. And I'm also going to call these. Considering it's a fairly small mercenary camp, and might already be getting dealt with, I don't want to spend also the spear militia, because it is my workforce that is going to town. Well, leaving town, essentially. So I want to see if these guys... Hold on, maybe they already did clear out the camp. Gentlemen, are you actually hostile or not? Because I do believe it could be a mercenary faction. Now we only got the Wayward Sons to hire. The only faction that seemingly had raiders. Come on. I don't quite like this menu. Yeah, we got the raiders there, and we have the enemy unit here. All the way down here. This is where the actual brigands are. There's a lot of them. That's for certain. That should give these guys a good run for their money. In more ways than one. And I might need to actually help them out. There's 36 archers and 18 base brigands. Yeah, that's gonna turn into a bit of a fight there. First, we need to ensure that this is actually empty. And, well, they've cleared it out. Which is very kind of them. And I will now take the money. Where's all these enemy units? Yeah, they're now making their way into my territory. So, seeing as this camp appears to be empty, I can quickly move over these forces to the next area, which is where I will need them. This is going to go into the reserves from the nearest town. Which means that Wood got the money. Yeah, I can now got the money. That's fine. Alright guys, we're going to have to move. These archers are a bit out of their depth, I think. What's going on here? You can't possibly be expected to fight with bows and arrows in this territory. Which means that these brigands... I mean, the the Brotherhood of the Forest... Well, they're outnumbered 3 to 1 and about to be 4 to 1. I think I might have to gather a couple more of my men. Because this could very quickly get out of control. There we go, we gained some nice regional wealth. I probably need to set up on the trading... No, actually I don't need to set somebody up on the trading post, because the trader's going to come in all by himself. So I don't need to do that trading myself. Right. How are we doing? Our brigands have definitely taken a couple of serious losses there. Where are my guys at? Here. And here come the spearmen. Okay, form up. I'm gonna ask you guys to run over here, because I might need you much sooner than I was expecting. We're gonna do quite the battle here. These archers are getting completely clubbed to death. No pun intended. But it's not going well. Over there in the background, you can see my forces arriving. Rushing to try and help out. Yeah, let's make one big line here. The archers behind it. Now, they're probably going to be pretty tired by the time that they get here. Yeah, they're a bit fatigued, otherwise alright. Get ready. Let's try and mow a couple of them down. I don't think so, Sunshine. I don't think so. I thought these guys were supposedly armed with swords, but I'm not seeing it. Okay, so that's one of them down. You guys came running in. Yeah, you're probably going to be pretty tired after that. Here comes another wave. You don't have to run. Don't worry. You guys do, though. Yeah, they're definitely coming under fire from the archers. Ooh. They're not liking that much. The real question is, are they just chasing these guys back here? Or are they just, well... Like, is the AI doing something that's a bit stupid? I'm not sure which one it is just yet. Line up. Spearman 2. Oh. Great. Other regions being claimed. Which one? You want Nuslo? This one. Ooh, that's a big one. Now, I can fight them. I can resolve the claim on the battlefield. I'm not sure I have enough. Like, actually enough. So, yeah, they can have it for now. What I don't quite understand is that they claim it, but then they don't seem to do anything with it. So I'm not exactly sure what the objective of the AI is once they have taken it. They just seem to hold the territory, I guess. But it's not like you can actually see the AI building a town. Or maybe I have to scout it out. I don't know about that. Where are all the brigands at? Did you kill them all? Interesting. Alright, boys. I guess we're done then. Let's go home. Let's go home. Looks like we got a nice amount... No, actually still got a lot of cash. I was going to say, I thought we had the trading post with the trader coming in, but maybe I don't actually have to trade it myself. I do apologize. This is the first time I'm actually trading, so I'm not sure how well it works. Follow the merchant. Oh, he's coming into town now. Here we go. And how many shields are you actually bringing, good sir? And he left. I think he dropped something off there, off map, but I can't quite see what. I think we just got paid. Policies are a bit annoying. Treasure change, 25. Oh, they just bought 5 shields. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna take me a while before I'm able to sell off all of these shields then. You can all disband. I don't need you at the moment. How are we doing here? Already got 24 sidearms. Excellent. Trading posts. Let's trade. Military. And let's set up a trade route. Not for the gambazons, but for the sidearms. But I don't have the money to afford that yet. Alright, fine. We'll upgrade a couple of these burgers plots. And make sure that these guys are going to be happy enough to start paying additional money. As for my personal treasury, I think it's doing fine. And with the removal of that bandit camp over there, I can also start setting up this area. But that's something for a future episode. This one's come to an end. I hope you have enjoyed my little venture into arms trading. May it long continue. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon for more.